Like I think that's part of what hurt her. I think there's probably some studies on this. I would think. I've always heard it my whole life. I think it's true. People that work their whole life, when they stop working, I think it's even a statistic. Josh might even be able to look it up. There's a statistic where from retirement, like it's within 5 years or something, like 5 or 10 years, people die. So like, don't retire is kind of the thing. So we were nervous when my grandpa died, your great grandpa, because we thought that she had been there taking care of him always, and then after that she might not make it too much longer. But I really think it was more than not being able to work.
I don't know how accurate this is because that doesn't seem accurate to me, but it says a 65-year-old can expect to live another 19 to 21 years on average.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's probably just people who like enjoy working, who have like made their life about working.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I wonder if there's a correlation to the older they get and then retire. You know, of course, that could just be because they're older. It may not have any correlation.
I think lifespans are also extending anyway, just because of medical science and things. Like they already said that the first person to live to be like 200 is probably already alive.
Oh, really?
Just because of advances in medical science and whatnot.
That's insane. It's not gonna be me.
Yeah, probably not me either.
Yeah. Well, you got good genetics on your mama's side. They live longer, but on my side, Papa Jerry's beating the record. But generally, they were kicking it in the 60s. So
yeah, I think a while ago I added it. I added all my great grandparents' ages at the time or when they died up, and like averaged it out. And I think like that, like if it's not gonna be true, but like if I did die, the average would be like 72 to like 68.
Well, part of like Papa Jerry, the medical advancements are a lot of what's helped him. He's gotten really 2 new leases on life that if these occurred 30 years ago, he wouldn't have had.
Yeah.
And so you got to think that the medicine's going to continue to advance. Plus, just really even for your generation, your knowledge of nutrition and health and fitness is higher than mine was. So I think that's already get you guys a little ahead of the curve. So I can see people living longer, the age extending on.
When you were a kid and you had like all your friends and stuff that like would work out, when did they start like knowing about like bulking and
yeah, so we didn't have the internet. I just said that, right? And when I was in high school and started to get interested in it, all we had you get magazines. So I used to get Men's Fitness and Flex magazine and Muscle and Fitness. Most of them were like the Flex magazine, Muscular Development, and I think Muscle and Fitness were all like Weider publications, which is the company, Joe Weider's company that owned the Olympia. So they were all like, there was these sponsored bodybuilders in there that were just roided to their gills. And back then, people weren't talking about that's what it was. It was they knew how they were eating, and they knew. So a lot of our knowledge came from at least for me, came from those magazines. Or it came from when you were in high school and you had your coach for whatever the team was. The coach became the authority. In hindsight now, although I had some great coaches at different times, like when I played football, some of the things they wanted us to do, even now I know, weren't ideal for the time. So that was where I got most of my information. I'll never forget, I was 14 or 15, maybe 15 or 16, and I started to get really into the martial arts and the fitness and lifting weights and stuff. And I remember Nana Connie and Papa Jerry, your grandparents, me and Josh's parents, were great people and always made sure we had food, but they weren't the healthiest. There was always like snacks and snack cakes and chips and all these things that weren't healthy. So I remember going and buying my own loaf of bread, turkey slices, and apples. And so in the morning I would eat an apple, and I'd bring a turkey sandwich with me for lunch, and then at dinner I'd maybe eat another apple and another turkey sandwich, because that's at the time my nutritional knowledge was, well, that's probably healthy. It was healthier than what I was doing. But, I wasn't eating any vegetables. I didn't understand how the vitamins worked, or I didn't know how amino acids worked, or any of this different stuff. So that was kind of the basis for me of sort of nutritional knowledge, and then it just started to grow from there.